Mike Gill, State of Corruption. Now you already may know about this. I've made changes to the sign. The good news is I took shithead off. Now I did put Jean Shaheen's face on the sign and indicated that she's guilty of the Ponzi scheme, FRM. Right. I put Bill Shaheen's face up on the sign. He's guilty of extortion. Don't forget, I got a $100,000 check with his face on it. Walker's Alex Walker, the previous president of Divine Millimat, who was pushing that crony Medicaid bill, to have the drug dealers get paid again, because that's what he does. Remember, he sits on the chair, the co-chair of the New Hope Treatment Center. Walker, now I've told you about him, his mug's on it. Flory is the CFO of Granite State Credit Union, which I'm saying is hiding the money from the drug dealers. He was your ex-banking commissioner who had to leave because of the Ponzi scheme. He took over for Hildreth. Boom, he's gone. So you know what the corrupt do? They just put him in charge of the largest credit union in the state that is used by the workers of this state. See? Money laundering from the drug dealers. Judge Anderson's the hit judge for anything to do with banking. Before it was McHugh, right? He's protecting Granite State. He's protecting the banking department. Why do you think each time I file a claim it comes up with him? That's his job. Judicial fraud. You made the sign. Foster, the Attorney General of the state of New Hampshire. Great job. Really, and I mean it. With all the people dying of heroin, arresting, but that is your job. 29 years at McLean and covering up the criminality of the state. You are guilty of criminal cover-up, Foster. Aganos. Well, let me see what you're guilty of. Oh, only selling drugs to our children and owning the treatment center to treat them and make more money on the kids that don't die. And let's not forget Crew, your buddy. Crew's turned around and he's a drug dealer. Right. And then we've got Bill Griner. You know who Bill is? He only sits the director of Prima Bank. He sits right between Anagos and Cruz. Now how's that, Bill? And you're guilty of extortion, money laundering. How about this? Why don't we have the feds, while they stop in the banking department and investigate them, and I know they're going to go right to your bank, which is probably why your deposits are down to nothing. Perlow, don't forget Mr. Perlow. Perlow was, up until a few weeks ago, your banking commissioner. Do you remember a few weeks before that? I said the banking commission was laundering money and protecting the launderers. And I said it, and I put it out there, and I put it out, but Perlow was responsible. Well, Perlow retired, see you later, gone. No explanation. Right. You make the sign. Oh, by the way, he was the AG, assistant AG, working for AOT, and before then, they both worked for McLean. Follow the corrupt. Judge Foley, one of my personal favorites, next to Walker, which Foley is criminal judicial fraud. He's a judge. He's one of the highest ranking family court judges in the state, completely corrupt. Maybe you remember Frank Edelblunt. Right after he spoke to the family committee, he turned around and walks to me and sings the praises of Judge Foley and how he's working to change things. Well, here you go, knucklehead. You talked to me right under the camera that heard you turn around and tell me I know Foley's corrupt, but I'm trying to get elected. Now, you could call me a liar. You could. But I would remind you, you sent it under the speaker, you dimwit. Okay. Now that we took shithead off the sign, Do you think any media is going to show up and go, hey, what's all those claims? You just mentioned the senator and the other and the AG. What's the bet they don't show up? Now, I'm putting an American flag on my sign, and I'm putting it upside down as I'm flying the flag in Plastow. Not on the sign because they sabotage that. We're down to 3/4 of one. So, I mean, this is the Alamo, folks. But that's all right. We're full of fight, and we're winning. The complaints with the Department of Justice, we're winning. Now, what that flag means, it doesn't mean I'm un-American. It means that I am. It means, and if you can look this up, we are in dire distress. In the military, it means Americans are overrun. If we, as the citizens of this state, with the corruption that is this vast, that controls your courts, that affects your hospitals, that is controlling all natures of this state and its criminality, that is overrun, and I'm standing behind it. Listen, I asked to investigate, the Department of Justice to investigate. What I'm doing, I know, and I have complete confidence. So I am a patriot, and don't consider that I'm not. What I'm doing every day is risking my life telling you the truth. And I'm asking you to have courage enough to investigate to change the future for our children. Thank you.
My boss is cheap. I think he'd be aggravated